Welcome to the Synced Up podcast, where we talk tech, digital media, and all things business. This week, we're delving into a topic called Why Video, which we'll get into a little bit later. Let's have a little quick catch up. And Josh.
I'm going to flip it this time.
All right.
Matt, what have you been up to this week?
Well, this week it's the start of the week because we couldn't record last week, so we are going to be recording and turning this around quite quickly. So it will be out in 2 days' time. So it's Monday. So it's the start of the week. So the best thing I can do is kind of recap the weekend and last week. Nothing major from a business standpoint, but we're in the last couple of weeks of hard training now. So long run yesterday destroyed me a little bit. I did my Saturday morning, like get up at 4:30 and go train with a group of lads called that we call it the Saturday service. And so 6 a.m. start there in like Tamworth, sort of Measham way. That was epic, but yeah, my body's broken. I feel a little bit broken. And to be honest, we had a weekend where we didn't really do much as like a family. So we were in. So I was just tinkering around, doing jobs. So I've been super productive husband. But yeah, not a huge amount on my side. How are you? What's yours? What
You basically just described your weekend.
I know. I don't even remember last week.
There's a hard question when you're not ready. So the last week, I've been. Oh my god, why is this so hard? It's like I can remember what I was doing.
You were away shooting for a few days.
Yeah, I was away in London. It was actually interestingly meant to be a bit of a catch up with an old friend, and it turned into work. So you know what? There's quite a lot of relevance in this story of why you should plan, why you should be organized, because I turn up to it's basically an event. So they've got everything sort of set up. Well, they should have everything set up for this event. They've got the venue. It's quite a big piece. I'm going to say there's probably about 30 crew altogether, like in different areas.
For what? What they shoot? What are you shooting?
So they're effectively a gospel community, and they do a chart based around gospel music. It's a crazy story of how I ended up involved in that.
Chart?
They do this thing called the UK Christian chart.
Right, okay.
So yeah, it's a really sort of interesting it's an interesting thing to be part of.
They release songs or release music every year and they're trying to get into the chart?
No. So they've created their own chart.
Right.
For gospel music artists, so that niche little area, to try and sort of promote them and get sort of more engagement in that area. So
this shoot is around promotion for that then, is it?
So they do a yearly event which is like an awards ceremony. So it's really sort of interesting.
Was there any artists playing?
Yeah, so I wasn't there for the actual day itself.
That's a shame.
I know
you getting involved.
I've seen. I was there last year, so I sort of know. I know what's to be expected and like the level. And they really put on a pretty epic show. But behind the scenes, I feel like there could be a little bit more forward planning, and I think it's more because it's all volunteer run. So you're sort of like you're looking at, are people, you're asking people to do things sort of in their own time, but then if they don't do it, you can't. It's difficult to sort of be like, you need to do this and I need it done, because they're doing it as a volunteer. So I can see that's basically the struggle, because I think everything ended up getting left to the last minute, which is, it's hard to almost track. And then it gets to the point of, I mean, I was there on Friday, the event's on Saturday, and on Friday I was assisting building all of they're little like videos that are, when you present an award, you have like a little video clip and it's like, these are the nominees and this is the category.
Yeah.
So I think there was about 13 different award categories. None of these videos had been completed.
Oh, wow.
We had a template, which we had to sort of rebuilt on the Friday morning so we could export it quicker, because at the current rate, each one was taking an hour. So
Oh, no.
that's 13 hours of exporting for an event that is the following day.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
So it was.
It almost sounds like a TV production kind of deal.
It is very, yeah. I mean, you'll probably be able to find it on YouTube. I'm sure they put it on YouTube. It's probably already on there because they're quite quick.
I'm telling you now, if we can find a link to it, we'll put it in the description of the video because I'm interested to see what it looks like.
It is. It's impressive. Like the guy who runs it, he's like the nicest guy in the world. Honestly, like his name's Dennis. He's an absolute legend. How he's pulled it all together is like, I think, somewhat of like a miracle. But yeah, it's that. How do you manage those people who they say they're gonna do something and like he's a bit like me, like we're really nice, so it's sort of like, oh no, like I understand you're busy, don't worry, do it in your own time. But then in the back of your mind, you're like, but I need it done now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we'll see what that looks like. Did you get involved in any of the actual shooting for it?
No. I originally was meant to be, but not in the end. So I know their setup and how they work it, and they do very much like mixing on the day, a lot of roaming cameras. So it is a proper setup.
We'll have to see. We'll have to check it out. I'm genuinely curious what it looks like coming out of this. So because we haven't had much on the back week. What have you got coming up this week? What are you looking forward to, or any projects in?
Yeah, so our original plan would have been really cool. It was to be going to Zurich and doing some filming over there. That's not happening anymore. Sad times.
Oh, how come that fell apart?
Just client. I don't think they were happy to pay the bill. So
yeah, okay.
Put a quote
Zurich,
out then. Yeah, put a quote out. You don't get it.
Yeah, okay.
But no. So this week now is a little bit more of. We've just had the go ahead on a couple of big projects that are going to run through December. So this is probably the last quiet week before all that kicks in.
That's interesting because my industry generally quietens down in December. Does yours normally?
It varies,
It varies on the projects, I guess.
Yeah, the last couple of years has actually been quite good. So this time of year is really good for like animation.
Okay.
Because weather outside's a bit unpredictable. It doesn't look great because if you want to film like your offices, your premises, it's like you sort of want the green, like summery look,
not the grey wet.
Yeah exactly. So you tend to find that even though depending on what it is, we could film in this time of year, but you often find that people don't even bother like asking.
Yeah,
because
I think icy can look quite good when things are all iced over. I think it can look quite nice, but
it depends on the context of the video, really. So
I mean, if you're building a video for a Christmas special or something, or a Christmas themed one, then yeah, absolutely. If it could please snow the day before we shoot, that would be great.
You would never be able to time it with snow. Not in this country.
Well, okay, so we're now less than 2 weeks away from your race, your first Hyrox race.
Oh yeah.
How are you feeling?
Both excited and nervous at the same time. I reckon closer to the day it will turn more into fear. And then as soon as we're off that start line, it'll then just turn into like
work mode.
Fuel, adrenaline. And I reckon it's as soon as we start, I'll probably be like really sort of like anxious, like I'll be really like anxious to start almost until we literally go across the start line, then it will all just change.
Yeah, you generally find that way, that nervous energy build, especially when you go in and you check in and they write your number on your arm and then you get your tag that you have to attach to your ankle, which feels a little bit like you'd expect in prison.
Yeah.
And then the time's getting close and you've got to warm up. All these things are really like they add to the anxiety and the excitement. But as soon as you go out that start gate, it's on. It's race time.
Yeah.
And I guess this week now will be the last hard week for both of us because I'm racing with Josh on the Sunday, but on the Saturday I'm doing my first ever solo Hyrox. So I've only ever done doubles and relay, so it's all on me this time. So I've got that nervous energy as well because I'm like hoping that everything all this hard training pays off, but my body's kind of fighting it at the moment. I'm not in my best shape,
Yeah.
which is really frustrating when you're putting the hours in. But yeah, I'm really hoping it all comes together last minute. I don't know if it will. Even if it doesn't, like, I can still put a good performance up. But I'm kind of got that nervous energy with you. So we're both of our races are on or my race and our race are on the morning. So it'll be Saturday morning and Sunday morning. I'll see if I can get a few little like video clips of us.
That could be quite cool.
Because maybe on in a couple of weeks podcast, we can show it a little bit or link to it or something, or do a little sub video on it. Because I just think it's a big moment for both of us that we're actually going to go and do it.
Yeah, there's like firsts for both sides. Like obviously my first high rocks, but then your first solo. So,
yeah. Well, Josh has been crushing the training, so I've been trying to help interject a little bit with things to do and bring a bit of, you know, if it was up to Josh, he'd just go hard on everything, I'd imagine. So it's trying to rein him in a little bit, but his progression has just gone ridiculous. And so my wife's doing the same, actually. She's racing on the Sunday, and she's gone from like 0 to training 6 days a week, which again, it's trying to rein her in, like, whoa. But like watching somebody that's not been structured training suddenly do that, and then watching the progression come really thick and fast. I'm so jealous because I had that, but that was a little while ago now.
Yeah, I'm not good with structured training. I think I do a lot on feel, to be fair. I like yesterday I was feeling really strong, so I then did a long run. And
I rang Josh because I had a planned long run, my last kind of long run coming up to the race, and I thought, I'll just check in with Josh because I know you'd done best part 15k the day before on the Saturday, because you'd done parkrun and did a full send. Then he'd gone to a social run and ended up sending that as well. Typical Josh. And then I was like, I'll check in just to see if you've done anything today on the Sunday, yesterday. And he's like, yeah, I've just done a 22k run.
Apparently my longest as well. I thought I'd run longer than that, but
I think he'd definitely done halves, but no, maybe this is your longest.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't.
How did it feel?
I did, you know what? Like every time I do anything like of that distance non-stop, because sometimes I'll do it, but I've technically paused for like 5-10 minutes in between each one. When you do it like non-stop that distance, I definitely appreciate you sort of the effort on your body, the load on your body. Because when I'm thinking like if I was to do like a marathon and I start to get that aching point around, I reckon it's about 17, 18k in when my body's starting to be like, wow, we've been doing this for quite a long time now.
What are you doing?
Yeah, like, do you want to just stop and sit on that park bench? And I'm like, wow, I'm not even halfway on marathon.
That slow ache does start to build, but the fitter you get and the more long runs you practice, you can push it back, so it might not come into like 20k or 25k. Depends on the pace you're going at and how fit you are at the time, and how based on the pace you're going off at. But you can push it back. But yeah, I think after 30 kilometers in a marathon, particularly, it always gets just hard. Like it's just dig it in and see it through. But I remember the feeling of like 17k, your legs are starting to feel heavy, and you're like, oh, can I do this for longer?
Yeah.
Yes, if you train properly.
Yeah, I think that's where I start to notice, or you start to pay attention to like just like little things, like I don't know, like your foot might just have a little like, ooh, well that's interesting, and I'm like, I've got at least another 10k on this, so I'm gonna monitor that, because ultimately, like, yeah, if you're doing race day, just get it done. But at the moment I'm training, so I'm like, if this starts to get worse, I want to stop before I wreck my training, because the last thing you want is...
Yeah, you don't want to be hitting injury at last minute.
Exactly.
Oh, last thing on actually flicking back to business. Yesterday, I was being very productive, and I was in a really good space. I was just getting loads of jobs sorted. And one of the things, I went and sorted out my to-do list for work.
Okay.
It's about 20 things long. But then I've got a part of today, and then I've got all tomorrow. So I'm going to try and hit like my whole task list.
Are they like when I make a task list?
No, some are quick and easy. Not all are like big mammoth tasks. Some take a couple of hours.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Some I can kind of do at a similar time, or some I can initiate and
being multitask.
I'm terrible at multitasking. I think most people are. I mean, a lot of people that claim to be They're lying. No, I'm good at I can do multiple things, and kind of my ADHD style brain means that I like to start a lot of things, and then they'll all finish at different times. And as long as I don't get distracted by anything during that process, I'll absolutely smash it. But the problem is, one thing distracts me, and an email comes in. I'm like, I've just lost my flow. Like, where was I? And I was in the middle of like 8 different tasks. So
try working in a room of 3 of you.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had anything done for years.
So great catch up. Let's get into the heart of this week's podcast, which is why video. So the topic of this week is why video, where we're going to delve into the world of video production, very much in Josh's camp here. So we might see me asking a lot of the questions and Josh talking, but I mean, we're both going to have opinions on it. We both work in business. We both, are on socials. We visit other people's websites, and we see where video has an impact, and you're immersed in it more on a day-to-day basis and probably analyzing it a lot more anyway. I've got my own opinion on where I see video fitting, but do you want to kick us off, Josh? Obviously you chose the topic this week of why video. So why did you want to start there?
It's really just to sort of, it's almost like a level the playing field, because a lot of people who come to us, they already know that they want it, but then there's the other probably 90% of the market of people who are like, but why would I want one? So a lot of the sort of projects that come in are people who've already sort of committed, and they've already made the decision of, we need video as part of our marketing strategy. But then I feel like there's a lot of people who come to me and they're like, well, I don't know why I would want a video. So
I've got some thoughts though, because
sorry. Let me just kill
Get him. We're keeping it in.
Sorry,
Josh
just had to
murder some fly.
fly.
So I do see that there's obviously a lot of different types of businesses out there, right? Some businesses are more obvious than others in what they do, but you've got a certain market where they have a product and it does a specific thing. Let's say in the manufacturing space, where actually having a video might show that product in either partly how it's made or the function it serves. So it could be almost like an explainer video of what you have and where it fits. Like if you made a rod that goes into a certain type of aircraft that slots into the engine and makes it work, something, I know, a completely random thought, but having a video there might show the client base and the people that are buying that product where it is, how it works, and what it does. So you've got that whole explainer video piece. That's one obviously route for video. You've got the other side, which is the bigger businesses that want to demonstrate their service or connect with their audience in a more powerful way with video, where they're using it to show either parts of their office, the service they're offering, their service in full swing. I know you video you've got a lot of different clients that are trying to show different things. And you've also got an opportunity to sort of demonstrate, what do you call it, where it's on the home screen of a website, that video?
So we call them banner videos.
A banner video.
Yeah, it's just like a little taster of it.
Almost like a company overview or a bit of an insight into either behind the scenes or how the company works or what it's like working with them. Because I think video ultimately is there to help build trust and connect.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
With the people watching it, of, well, this is who we are, this is what we do, these are the people involved in the company, and this is kind of how the process works. And there's a lot of different types of video, but yeah, I think that's ultimately the goal, right?
Yeah, I mean, trust is number one, like especially at the moment where we've now got like AI generated video everywhere. Is now everyone's coming to us sort of being like, yeah, we need to prove that we are like a legitimate business, that we have like a team of people who actually care. That's sort of the big important factors now.
That's a huge point to be honest, because in this day and age, you can't trust what you're seeing on video. Like,
no,
even the stupid stuff, you go on like TikTok or YouTube Reels or whatever, or Facebook Reels or whatever, or Shorts, and you're like, you have to work out, is that actually a real video?
And the thing is, it fools me, and that's sort of a frightening one, because in the past where people try and fake stuff, like I know what to look for. I know what I know like, oh, okay, I
Some
could see
tells.
where you would, yeah, I know where you would cut that and how you would do that. But now I'm often watching things and I'll watch like a video, it's usually Instagram as well, and you're like, is that real? I was like, I don't know if I trust it.
Yeah.
And that is becoming, it's getting worse and worse, like almost like monthly.
Well, because of the huge range of types of video that you can have, it really does. Obviously, you can get an AI to spin something up. You can, and I've seen you leveraging AI a little bit to help with the video production side of it in some certain circumstances.
Yeah, yeah. AI is not bad. That's the thing. It it has, you can utilize it for useful things and then it'll also get in the way. Same with most things that come out. But yeah, the AI tools that we've now got available for video editing of like suddenly we can do almost like an extra level of like fake sort of CGIing where we
Yeah.
need to do some clever work, but then also like speeding processes up as well. I reckon in the next year there's going to be a lot more sort of efficiency brought into editing.
Where do you see the value in video? If you're a person that's, paid to have it done, where do you see the advantage to a company that has a video?
So really it's all to do with planning it and getting it right in the first place. So one of the first things that we do is we ask, why are people doing it? Which has caught a few people off guard before, because they're like, right, Josh, I want a video. And I'm like, oh cool, why? And they're like, huh? I thought you'd just be like, yeah, quote it up. But ultimately, if they haven't figured out why, and we'll assist with that process, but if they don't know why they want it, then they're really not like, what are we going to make? Like, because,
It's exactly the same when you have a website, because like if you're not, you've got to have a thought of what you're trying, who are you talking to with that website, who's the audience going to be, because ultimately it's for the viewers, right, of
yeah.
that website, and or in this case for that video. Like, what is the purpose? Who do you want to watch this video, and how are they going to feel, and what are they going to want to do seeing it, and
Yeah, like it's the same with any sort of like thought through process. Is like you're looking to create something useful. So why would you just come in and try and film something and expect it to be, a finished piece and fantastic and do it everything it's gonna do? Why wouldn't you plan it from the like, what do I want in the end? What am I actually trying to achieve with this video? Then plan it back from that. So for us, pre-production is a massively important step. And that's partly why, like with our pricing structure, we try and present people with just, this is what we figured out that you want, and we just present them with, this is how much it's going to cost, instead of breaking it down, which some people they always do. Like someone will ask and they'll try and break it down, and then they look at it and they're like, right, the pre-production was going to cost this much, but we don't want to spend that much on pre-production. Can you just like, we'll just do less of that? I'm like, well, why would you do like less planning? Like you can't.
let's have no plan and
yeah,
make a video. See how well that goes.
yeah. It's like we've thought through how long we expect the planning to take. So if you're going to cut the plan, or like cut the storyboard, or something, pretty critical to the whole piece, then who knows what you're going to end up with in the end? Like, is it going to hit those goals? I don't know.
So let's assume you make we everyone makes the perfect video for what they want it for, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a company that's never used video in the past, and when I'm talking video, I'm not talking they've cropped a few scenes on Canva together with some text overlaid, right? I'm
Yeah.
talking, you know, proper video.
Yeah.
Where would maybe the entry point be? Where do you see the biggest use case for trying to use this great video that they've had produced and created?
So it does depend. It depends on whether you sell like a product, whether you're a service. Product is relatively, I think everyone can imagine what the purpose of a product video is. It's basically an advert for that product. You can then put that out on socials, put it out on TV. You're basically wanting to show people this fantastic product, what it does, and get it sold. But services are sometimes a little bit harder because generally we're trying to generate trust in that
Yeah.
point. So, you know, any, I'm just going to like say accountants say, an accountant, what makes this accountant different to the other accountant? And it's, in the end, they're actually going to do the same thing. You don't want to be based on cost.
Because it
That's,
is like accounting is an industry that it's regulated, but it's also there's a compliance side of it. They have to do tax returns, or they have to help companies with their VAT or payroll or etc. Obviously, different accountants have different services and packages, but ultimately, you know what you're getting with an accountant, right?
yeah, exactly. And like, I feel like, well, for me especially, I don't really, accounting is not my world. I don't understand it. I should understand it, but I don't understand it and I don't care to understand it.
Yeah, fair
What I
enough.
know is I have a great accountant, they do a great job, and we get, the business continues to run, we pay all of our tax, everything's great. So at the end of the day, like accounting for me, the importance there is that I trust my accountant is doing what they should be doing.
Yeah.
So, which I do, which is great.
But
But
but we're talking about here where you've already got an established relationship. But if you're trying to um, appeal to people that have never heard of your brand or your name before, then yes, you can have ads, you can show pictures, but it's not like
well, it's all part of the story. So, yeah, pictures are great. You can have your written ads, they're great. So, video is just another one of these tools. Um, but video gets a lot more traction on like social
I
media.
think it can be a lot more powerful,
Yeah.
emotive. Like when you've got
Mhm.
music, when you hear people talking, and the way they're talking about their service or about the business or about what problem they solve. There's a real deeper connection.
Yeah, I think there's it's probably almost probably like a almost like a human element comes into play once you've got people animated on screen, and even if it's just people like turning a head, like it's suddenly you're more engaged and you're like, oh no, that is real. Who knows, that might change with AI. Who knows, our
Yeah.
mindsets might change and suddenly that won't be enough anymore. Who knows what will come next? 4D, 4D.
Oh dear. Yes. Well, there's lots of opportunity with video as well because it's not just necessarily you can animate as
Yeah.
well. Obviously, that is a different, and that can be used in explaining products as well, using animation to complement other like video shots of maybe depending on the industry and the manufacturer seeing the machines and making the
Mm,
product and all that sort of stuff. So you've got this is the thing. It's almost like there's so much opportunity
mm,
with video to really show whatever you want, but it's about trying to condense it down to to demonstrate what the service is and what the product is, and then if you where would you put that like, once you've got that video? Is it always website? Is it always just social media?
a lot for us is website. So usually a company enters video with us as a company video or a web banner. The two go very nicely hand in hand because a web banner can almost come from a company video. If you do a company
So when
video,
you say a company video, you mean like is it an about us, like introducing the company kind of video?
very much so, yeah. So it's really that is the video that will generate trust. It's in a lot of cases, it's the only video that companies will have. Um, but the importance of these sort of company slash banner videos is they go on the website and that immediately generates like an instant level of trust for the website.
Are you talking about with Google or
Both. So Google will supposedly rank you higher. It changes all the
I mean,
time.
Google have got a huge manuscript of what it
Exactly.
takes to rank high in Google, so
Yeah.
that's a different conversation. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And not something I
but video,
understand
but we
elements.
know how video does help with website engagement and obviously building that trust when it's on there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's what we keep going back to is like we're trying to generate trust here. So, yeah, those banner videos, those website videos, they're gonna really sort of generate that initial trust.
I was going to say if I'm imagining myself now. Let's say I didn't know any accountants, and I'm like, "Ugh, my current accountants let me down. for the final time, I need to go find one. And I Google accountant, because I live in Worcestershire. I'll go accountant Worcestershire, and then I'll see who comes up, and I go and I'll click on their websites and have a look at them, right? So I'm now effectively a buyer or a shopper.
Yeah.
And then one company I go on, their website's quite vanilla. Let's see, assume it's got stock imagery.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, okay. What they're saying looks quite good. And then I go on a different website and it's got custom photography. You
Mm-hmm.
can see the team. And then you've got this video that is introducing who they are and what, giving a bit about, who they are, what they stand for, why they do it, and that sort of stuff. Then suddenly I'm more assuming I like what I see, which you'd expect you would if you've gone to the effort of having a video created for it, right? But I'm going to feel much more connected to that person. And that ultimately can come down the difference between you gaining a new client that's just found your website and your content versus you not having that on your website and then them going to someone that potentially has. So it is fair to say that if you've got a good branding, good reputation, good imagery, good website that's backed by good video, when somebody is window shopping and looking at different websites, that you've potentially already put yourself 10 steps higher on that ladder of winning the business.
I guess you could, a good way of sort of picturing it is, because we always say, like, with websites, people call it your shop front, don't they?
Yeah.
So if you imagine it sort of continuing in from that, imagine sort of like your imagery is like text is fine on your shop front. That's your text. Imagery is like looking in through the window. Like, so photos are probably like looking in, but not actually speaking to anyone. You're just sort of looking in. You can see there are people in there, and that's great. Video is like actually walking in and going and having a conversation with them. It's like that next step of the shop.
I see it sometimes, and over on the weekend, it's Black Friday at the moment, so I've been going on quite a few websites looking at things, and particularly like something like Gymshark or Represent, a couple of just apparel sort of. If I said that wrong,
are they all like fitness related websites?
Yeah, basically. But you go on there, and then like they've got their photos of the products, but then on some of them, when you go onto like you go onto the front page, and it's showing some of the team, it's showing some of the photo shoots that they've had done on the product ranges, or somebody moving around in all their gear, and it's like it almost gives it that bit of credibility. I think as well. That's another sort of side we haven't touched on really, that it can make have it. From a business that's got no website to a business that's got a website, it's a credibility jump. Oh, I can see them, their website's there, they've got their company reg number on it, they've got their address on it, you can see some of the team, and you've got an explainer about who they are and what they do. So that's a jump up in trust. And then when you've got that added content there, I just think it shows that this is a credible business that's investing in themselves and representing themselves properly.
It's very much become like it's almost like you expect an established business to have their own web address. Like if you get in John at Gmail, you're like, okay, you sort of lose a little bit of trust. It's not,
you see, it depends what kind of industry they're in. If they're in like an IT or an accountant, you'd immediately go, that doesn't look right. If you see it as a plumber, or a builder, that's probably like, it's expected with that industry type. So definitely like, I still look at like John the plumber at gmail.com and think, mate, just spend a couple of quid and get a proper domain. Right. Like it'll look better, but you kind of expect it a little bit more in trade. But
absolutely. And same with numbers as well, like phone numbers. I wouldn't expect like an IT company to have like mobile numbers on there. I'd expect like a landline. Same with us as well. I think if you're getting in like video, if you're getting a mobile number, you can expect freelancer. That's sort of the vibe you get. Whereas if you've got an established office number, then, you're like, there's a team of people more established.
Yeah. Okay, quick fire, Josh.
Okay.
Tell me some of the different types of videos that you've created and that you've seen. Okay, so you've already said banner video.
Yeah, banner video, company video. We've covered those. Another would be FAQ style videos. So these are pretty good for just literally covering questions that people are always asking.
Yeah.
That's the point of an FAQ. So by capturing 4 or 5 of those, sticking them on the website, sticking them on LinkedIn, wherever. It's again, it's showing trust. It's showing you know what you're talking about.
Reminds me of a book that does called They Ask You Answer, I believe, which is all about the power of video marketing.
Yeah, okay.
Is it They Ask You Answer?
Don't know, I
If I've
don't
got
know
it wrong, I'll put it in a link to it in the description. But it's all about the power of connecting and answering questions that your audience are going to be asking, and
Yeah.
also using video to demonstrate who you are, what you do, and show and answer those usual questions. I think the guy that did the book I'm talking about sold swimming pools. Or it's
Okay.
kind of made swimming pools. I think that was his thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people who've read the book are now nodding their head or
Well,
acknowledging
Matt, you got that title wrong.
that. I hope I got it right, but it's a good book. It was one I read, but that made me think. Go on then. Other types.
So another would just be straight up explainer videos. So where you basically you've either got a complex product or service, and you just need to show people the sort of the inner workings for whatever reason. Perhaps that's to show potential buyers that there's something different about their product compared to their competitors.
To demonstrate quality, potentially.
Potentially quality, it potentially just like new technology.
Yeah.
Because some item, some things on sort of face level, I've had before where someone was they'd redesigned like some hydraulic arm, and you can't see, like you look at it and you're like, it's exactly the same as the other ones. So you sort of need that sort of explainer style, or somebody just talking through the points of it and why it's better. And so it's all, nothing you can't do as like a written piece or like a diagram, but it's always trust. You're always it's that next level of trust. Beyond that, there's project videos. So we tend to get this more with companies that do a lot of like tender process, or they pitch based on their expertise. So one company in particular, they use the videos, they effectively use them in their pitches. They go, right, this hasn't been done before. And so what we're trying to do is completely like new. Nobody does this on the market. This is what we've done previously. And then hopefully that proves to their potential client that they have the capability to do this impossible task, because pretty much everything they do has never been done before. And the people they pitch to are like, this can't be done. People have told us it can't be done. So they have to like disprove that theory by using
We're
previous
starting
videos.
off on the back foot, but going, look, we've got video evidence. We were told we couldn't do that. Look, we did it. And then we couldn't do that, and we did that.
I've been in a meeting before where I was told I was pitching for, I can't remember what it was now. I was pitching for something, and they were like, you can't do that. I was like, wow, that's a hard wall to cross.
Yeah.
When somebody says you can't do something, by the way, we've covered this before. Can't is not a word that exists for me. I will find a way, and that will make me find it more aggressively.
I'm going to find something you can't do.
No, you won't. I won't allow it.
There's other videos. You've covered quite a few videos there. I mean, you're in a world where short and quick attention span videos are a thing, right?
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
can, I assume, when you get like a company video done, you can, or have ongoing videos being created, you can pull snippets and shorts from those, and that can be part of a video marketing campaign, maybe.
There's almost no end to where it can be used. That's partly the problem now. You really have to find out what people want to do with it to then ultimately, right, what are we making? And that'll be even down to like, if it's going to be Instagram shorts, why don't shoot it landscape, shoot it portrait, which I think is disgusting, but it's the way the world is.
Yeah.
So portrait filming does exist. I don't like it. But I
wouldn't, as a person that's like lived and breathed landscape for your life.
I know. It's just, generally things aren't made for portrait.
What's your favorite video you've done?
Ooh, that's a big question.
I know.
Favorite one.
He's not allowed to say my one, because while he's thinking, I did have if you go on my website there, Josh did the banner video for it. which kind of just shows a little bit of behind the scenes and what we're doing and what we were working on, and shows our brand a little bit. So we had the Middlebrook treatment last year.
The full work.
No, it was 2 years ago. I think I kind of
Yeah, I know. Time has flown. It probably was.
Yeah.
It might even. I
don't you dare say it. It wasn't 3.
It can't be 3. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
wow. But go on. Have you had any thought? It doesn't have to be the favorite, or you know.
I think there is a favorite. I mean, always, we're trying to make the latest project the favorite. That's always the way. It's like that's my mindset. This will be the best one. This will be the best one. But there is one that sits in my mind. I think
30 seconds. Brief.
Oh my god. Right. So effectively, this company did a big rebrand, and they're a big company over in Norwich, and they needed to just give a flavor of like they are a people company. So it wasn't necessarily about the services, because what they did is quite complicated, and it spreads across like the whole community. And they were like, that's not what we don't want to try and list off what we do, because that's not important. What we want to do is show that we are like a people first company. So the whole thing, we did a lot of research around other like big brand versions of this same sort of style.
Yeah.
And we came up with a really, really nice, it was really clean. That's what I like about it, is it's like it was a simple sort of piece in the end, but it was really clean, really thought through. We had lots of locations and like we did it in a bit of a cinematic way as well. And the end result just looks so strong. It was like,
I feel like I want to see it now. I guess you're not allowed to share it, are you?
Might be able to. I'm not gonna promise, but I might be able to share.
Honestly, sometimes I walk in the studio and it's like Peter Jackson, I'd imagine, when he's got all his cinematic shots and he's trying to put them together. I'm like, wow, you guys make some really cool looking stuff, or make some really bland stuff look really cool.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Right then, I think we have. I will recap actually. So, why video? From my standpoint, and maybe Josh can add in, what we're trying to do is build trust to differentiate ourselves in the market against our competitors, and to show to the person that doesn't know us and doesn't know our brand and hasn't met you individually that you're a business that you connect with, that you understand what they do and how they do it and the type of company that they are. And it's to build that connection and to kind of build a bit of credibility. So that's my summary. Have you got a summary you want to chuck in or add to mine?
No, I think you pretty much covered it. Credibility, trust. That is really what I think is the core focus of what we're trying to do. Some videos might have a different goal, but generally I find that video is there to generate trust.
Boom. Okay, let's go into our final section where we look at some questions. So let's have a look at some questions. We have had a couple of people email in. I've got 3 questions from one person and maybe a couple from someone else. Okay. Josh, do you want to start? I've tried not to read it.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm not even going to read the others. So, what is more important for hiring, skill or attitude?
I've got an easy answer to that.
Okay, go on.
I've always hired on attitude.
Yeah.
Knowing that I had a bit of a buffer to raise their skill, let's say, because I've gone down the apprentice route, you've gone down the apprentice route.
Yeah.
And both of my hires, I've connected in a way in the interview which made me go, yes, like straight away I knew. I remember with Aaron that I wanted to test him a little bit. So I created a fake scenario and watched him, and like I broke something and got him to call me.
Yeah.
During and try and fix it. And so he had to speak to me and try and figure out the problem.
That's quite cool.
Ultimately, I didn't care how quick he fixed the problem. What I cared about is how he handled himself on the phone.
Yeah.
And it halfway through that conversation, before we'd even fixed it, I knew this guy.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And so my thought process is, if you can hire good people that align with your values, and want to do the best, and they're in it, obviously they're joining an industry that they want to be in, the skill will come.
Yeah.
Experience, especially when you're looking at apprentices who haven't been in the industry that long and aren't jaded with the industry either. That actually it does take time to build up experience, and it doesn't have to be book experience either. It can be hands-on, and then you can filter in the academic side of it as well, and some of the back end knowledge. So I think for me, it's always been attitude.
Yeah.
And it will continue to be until it's a point where I'm like, no, I'm actually hiring now because I need a server expert that can fix these specific things and set up these specific things. Then at that point, I'm going to have to look at their, can they actually do it?
Yeah.
If I'm trying to bring the specialist.
Yeah, because I'm basically exactly the same as you. It's going to be attitude first. But there's obviously, you're not going to just, it's not going to be anybody. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, like this guy, I love this guy. I'm just going to hire him in as a video editor. And he's like, I've never used any software in my life.
Mate, I've got to say, actually, I did a few interviews when I was before Jamie joined. And some of the people were great talkers.
Yeah.
And I asked them the most basic, like, IT question you could imagine. And what was really clear, they had never looked at IT in their whole life. I think I asked, what's the current version of Windows, for example?
Oh my God.
And they didn't. They not only did they not know, they couldn't guess, like, close.
Wow.
And it's like, sorry, you're looking for an IT role and you just don't care about IT at all. So yeah, you're right. They have to.
I would be extremely worried if I rang a support company and they didn't know what version of Windows.
You just expect, especially going into an IT role, that they're going to have some interest in it and therefore have some kind of baseline knowledge.
Yeah.
And I was flabbergasted with how many people
mental.
did not. There was more than one as well.
Oh wow. Okay, that's impressive.
Anyway.
But yeah, pretty much mirroring exactly what you said, but with, you just want, like, you want to know that they're capable of the skill, but the skills can be learned.
Yes,
that's ultimately it at the end of the day. If people want to learn it, they can learn a skill. Like, I wasn't born like with video editing skills and filming skills. Like, you learn those things.
Yeah.
But my attitude, I
will caveat again that it does depend on what level of role they're coming in. If they're coming in as a deputy CEO of a company, you'd expect they're bringing something to the party, right?
Yeah.
If they're coming in as a sales manager or as a technical director, do you know what I mean? If they're coming in at a higher level, you're going to expect and demand a higher salary.
Yeah,
you're going to expect some skill. But obviously, I haven't. My last few hires haven't been that level.
No. But attitude still surely is like, it's part of the culture.
Because if you get that wrong, your team will move backwards, not forwards.
Yeah, exactly.
And you could end up losing some really valuable team members because you've brought someone in that was
just
not
didn't
a good
fit with exactly.
Right.
Go on then.
Let me. Oh, you ask me.
Okay.
Question 2.
Go on then. Question 2. How is AI impacting your industries now? And will it impact you more in years to come as AI advances?
Wow. Well, we did have a bit of a segment where we were talking about AI in the video.
What about for you? Because obviously that was very video.
Yeah. Well, AI is huge, like in our industry. I mean, from a people interested in it, and wanting to bring it into their workflow, and then us supporting them using it. Yeah. You've got AI being used in like the gaming world. So like a lot of frames that you're seeing these graphics card sort of developers are now, some of them are AI generated. I can't remember the bloody terminology.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they're using it as a way to like extend the frame rate by filling in like fake frames.
Wow. Okay, that's quite cool.
Yeah, so I know that I really can't remember the word, and it's annoying me. But like, AI is being weaponized. I've said this before. I'm not trying to scaremonger with it, but AI, as much as it's being used for good, when you can arm a bot with some information and set it off to, for malice, then you've got that side of it. You've got the whole AI generated content as well in the IT world, and AI being used very well to to code, to create apps,
Yes. Yeah.
to enhance workflow, to read huge amounts of information, and so basically,
So
we're
where do you
still
reckon?
finding our feet with AI. But go on.
Yeah. Well, okay, so to the other side of that is, what do you reckon? How do you reckon, like, the next 6 months? Like, what?
Well, you've got Microsoft, Apple, the graphics people like Nvidia, AMD.
Mm,
You've got all these people fighting for AI power
yeah. Yeah.
because they're producing the graphics cards that go into the servers that ultimately will allow AI to be used.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of resource and power. So you've got this almost like huge technical, sorry, you've got this huge technical race happening. To what end goal, nobody knows. But what we know is that there's money in AI, and the
Yeah.
big boys are jumping into it. So it's only going to go. It's going to be rammed down our throats more. It's going to be commoditized and sold as packages. It's not slowing down. Let's put it that way. And I don't know where it's going to go. I don't think any of us really do.
Yeah, we'd all just have to sort of. I can see I can see a lot of really useful ways in which, like, it could be used in video, and I'm almost like, when you're like, I feel like it's such a simple next step for, like, helping us and our processes. I'd like to think I could predict it. You never know, but I can almost figure out exactly what the next step is, because it's the next thing. I desperately want this step. I cannot wait.
Is it AI meets robotics? Because then we're talking in like iRobot territory and Terminator.
Oh my god, I have no idea.
Drop me the phone.
God.
AI is crazy, and it's really difficult to keep up with. Top 3 TV series. Ah, that's a different one.
Ooh, do you know? Have you got some in mind?
Oh yeah.
Go on then. You go first, because
I'll do one geeky one and a couple of current ones. So Stranger Things, loved it since the first season.
Mhm.
I'm obsessed with it. The new season's coming out very soon, a couple of days, like Thursday. Final season, massive, really excited. Rewatching the last season now. Hugely into that. Just because obviously I grew up in 80s, 90s, and it's really themed at that kind of. So I
Yeah.
think it hits our age group. Like there's a lot of nostalgia in there mixed with just, I like fantasy and epic and all that kind of sci-fi as well. So it sings to everyone every sort of part of me on that one. Game of Thrones was the biggest thing I ever got into,
Yeah.
and was the most let down by. Like post series 5, it just they rushed it, and I've got I was so into it as well.
Yeah. Well, so I'm just going to jump in because my answer's already the same as yours. I don't know about the last one, but Game of Thrones. What a throwaway at the end.
I know.
I can't believe
They just killed off all the. They'd spent seasons building up that story arc for these main characters to just go, yeah.
It felt like it, and I know it's because that's what they did. They'd already committed to the next. I think they'd already moved on to making like House of Dragons, and they just went, you know what, just finish it off. We don't care.
Oh.
And it felt like it. And out of principle, I will not watch House of Dragons because I think if that's
on the airplane
attitude,
back from Chicago, they had series 4 of Game of Thrones on, and I watched it, and I really enjoyed it again. But I was so like, I know it's coming.
Yeah, that's the problem, and like, who's to say they're not going to do it with House of Dragons? Probably will.
I don't know.
They'll just move on and be like, you know what, I don't care anymore. Like, so
another couple, Breaking Bad, was so good, really good. Better Call Saul, the spin-off of it as well, really good. And then I know I've gone over 3 already, but Mr. Robot, have you ever watched that?
Mr. Robot, no.
Is it Rami Malek? He's the guy that did the Bohemian Rhapsody. He played Freddie Mercury.
Oh, okay.
He did a series about Hacker.
Okay. Okay.
And it's really cool. I really enjoy it. I want to rewatch that. I never completed it. Have you got any others you'd add?
No. I surprisingly don't watch that much much TV. I'm a
You
crazy
always
person.
surprise me what you haven't watched.
I know.
I feel like I need to steal you and force you to watch.
I quite enjoy films. I'm very much a film person, to be honest. I think series are so committing, and I live my life in absolute sort of like, you know, we were literally talking about it earlier. I'm like, just tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna work on. So I like films because you get the whole piece.
Punchy moment.
Yeah, you like, you follow it through, you get to the end and you're like, good, done.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for next week to come.
So, got another couple of questions.
Okay.
50k deal, so 50 grand
Okay.
deal, video, or sub 60 high rocks. You want the money.
Well, I would want the 50k deal.
Yeah.
The reason being is that would make a big difference. That would be like a huge boost of like morale for 3 people. So
Yeah.
me, Jack, and Tish. Whereas the under 60 minutes high rocks, that's just me. And hey,
You know,
it will happen.
You know what? For balance, I'm going sub 60 in my solo.
Oh
I've
my
done it. I've
God.
done it in doubles already a couple of times.
Yeah.
So now I want it solo.
Do you think you'll get it the first time? Do you think you'll get it this coming? No?
Not with unless my body recovers. I was mentioning like my film. My body.
How close are you?
I don't know.
You don't. What do you mean you don't know?
What do you mean I don't?
Have you not done a? Do you not do a sim?
I did a sim with you. I haven't done a different sim.
Oh, okay.
I was being selfless. I could have done a sim. That would have been the day I did it, but I did one with you.
Oh, well, that's cute.
Right, you can ask the final one. The day, all I can see is serious one.
Okay. Yes, serious one. Would you guys ever see a future where you could team up together in business? You both have complementary skills that I think could do quite well. Oh. I mean, I guess it depends on, because we're quite niche in sort of the video and photography elements. You don't build websites, so that's not like a. So I feel like there's a gap.
I think
in
website would be the conduit, like the link together for that.
Yeah.
But I would definitely work with Josh on any business if we suddenly decided, you know what, we're really good at making Cornish pasties, so we're going to build up a little Cornish pasty business.
Can we do?
Would I go into business with Josh? 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Given, you know, if the synergy of skills worked, then yeah.
If we suddenly decided we're going to be building websites, it would be such a good complementary kind of like skill set that you've got and that we've got, that we could collaborate a lot with and work together. But unfortunately, I've got zero interest in building websites, and I don't foresee that changing.
Okay, so Cornish pasties, watch this space.
Cornish pasties we're in, websites we're out. I think that's a great time to end it. Yeah. Oh, this has been the Synced Up Podcast. Please like and share and let other people know if you've enjoyed what you've seen. And as always, our email is podcast@synced-up.co.uk. So please send in your questions. I like the questions this week.
Yeah,
they're great.
The questions are good. Just keep sending in more questions, because the more questions we get, we can probably be a bit more selective and keep them really interesting. So
I don't know. I wouldn't admit any of those. Right. See you later.